I'm with the one and only Miss Toya. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn's very own. You know the vibes. What's going on? How you feeling today?
Everything is good. Feeling amazing.
Everything is everything?
Yes.
Like I said, she was a shaky warrior when we came in here, but she opened up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? She's out here vibing, beautiful. I got a couple questions for you. I want to just tap in, see what won. That's cool with you?
Yeah.
All right, so boom, boom, boom. Tell me, where you from? What do you do?
I'm from Brooklyn. I'm eligibility specialist at HRA.
You lying. You eligible at HRA? I was just in y'all office the other day.
What you was doing?
I had to do something for my brother.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's scary sights. It's all good though. Y'all be doing y'all thing. What made you want to start a venue?
Well, this is something that I always thought about doing, but I just kept pushing it off. Once I found the program, watched a few YouTube videos, it was sounding good, heard a little testimonies. I'm like, you know what? Let me do less talking and start working and get to it.
Spoken like a true BK, you know what I'm saying? More action, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So now that you have a venue, you in here, you doing your things, like how has that been? How do you feel about it?
I feel really good being just watching the process and going on the journey from starting in the beginning where I'm basically going out to different locations and getting shut down, or not necessarily shut down, but a lot of people don't want event spaces for whatever reason, previous issues that they had. So I had to view a lot of different properties first, certain questions, and then like going over the lease and all that stuff. So now that all that work is done, because while you're on the process of doing that, it feels like, oh my God, this is taking so long, it's so much. But now that all that's done with, it's like now the fun begins. Now the money is coming in. Now this is what all of the calls and the traveling is paying off.
Oh my God, that's super real. And I love the way you put it, because it's like a lot of times people don't see the destination while they're going through the process.
Yeah, because I have my breaking point sometimes where it's like, okay, you come in and you just think that everything is just going to take off, it's going to be super easy. But of course, if it was so easy, everybody wouldn't be doing it. I have my coaches, so you're saying do this, and I'm doing exactly what I'm being told to do, but it's still not finding a space. But of course, those spaces were not for me. So now that I found my space, it's like, okay, finally it's happening. So I had my times where I was getting frustrated or getting, discouraged, where I never gave up, but I'm like, damn, this is taking a long time, or I'm not finding a perfect space. So I don't like this. And then now I found it, I'm in here. So I feel amazing. I feel relieved that, that stage is over, but now I'm happy to start the new journey of giving events and selling more packages and just seeing what more can I bring to this event space, because there's so much things you can do once you have the space.
Now, you are actually a slightly more unique situation, because you had actually planned events before. You had booked event spaces before, including one of ours in the previous year. So how is it kind of going up from a client to now being the actual owner?
Well, that's a good transition as well, from going to the client to being an owner, because now that you have booked certain venues, you know what you didn't like before to change now, and what you were looking for. So now you know what to more provide for the client, and what you wanted before and they didn't have. So now you know to provide it. So you have certain gems and the upper hand to say, okay, I know I have to do this. I know I have to do this. I know when to do this, and so forth on. Of course, with other gems that you learn from the program to just, help you succeed in the business.
I think that's so big, because like I said, you were a more unique situation because you come from being a customer.
Yeah.
And like you said, like I've booked venues, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. It's kind of like you want to start a restaurant. Well, you've worked at restaurants before, you've eaten at restaurants before, you didn't like the way the server did this or the way the food tasted.
Right.
Now when you open up yours, you can make it better.
Yeah.
So you have, like you said, the upper hand to create a better business, because you know exactly what to fix, just like that.
Right.
So now, kind of taking it a step further, now that you are in the mindset of like, all right, cool, I want to be an entrepreneur or whatnot, what attracted you even to us, to Event Space Elites?
So I know that, well, personally, I booked a baby shower with you. I want to say that was like 5 years ago. So you probably won't remember. You meet so much people, but I
actually do remember you.
I actually sat down in there and we was kind of like in your business. Like,
I remember.
How many venues you
I
got?
remember.
What are you making?
I was like, yo, why y'all pressing me?
So at that time, it's like, that's when the thought process started to come, because years ago, I went to an event in Coney Island. It was a rental space, and it was on like maybe the second or third floor, but it was small. So in the back, it had like a party room. In the front, it was more like a jungle gym type of area. And once we finished having our 2 hours in here, we went to the party room, and it was just like not good at all. The cartoon characters was old, and the options that they gave us was the bare minimum. So from that day on, it was like, oh, I could do this, because look how much money they're making, and they having like 3 events in one day, 4-hour events, 2 hours here, 2 hours here, and they pushing us out while we here, they in here. So I'm like, I always had it in my mind mind to do it. So then just as time go on, it's like I'm booking venues and I'm just like, I don't like this, or I don't like this, or okay, I went to this venue, I really like this, but it's not so much in the community, or just in general, this is where the money is at right now. So that was my motivation to start, but it's like I was dragging my feet. So then once I started, and because I booked with you before I spoke to you, in time, Instagram, social media is getting more popular. I see you on Instagram and I started watching videos and I'm like, okay, this don't seem that bad. And then to know you have the program where you're not only telling me, okay, get the venue, I'm investing in myself and I'm getting the proper assistance I need as far as credit. Even you coming here and telling me what I should fix and what I shouldn't fix, or don't worry about this. This is where you should start, and this is, build and stuff like that. So that's a help. So once I started seeing those videos and I'm like, okay, I could do this, it was like, all right. I watched the videos for probably like a week and then I was like, all right, let me just make the call. And then I called and I signed up.
Say that. So now that full circle,
yeah,
client, customer, event space owner, boss, how's things kind of changed for you at all?
So personally, I feel like things have changed positively, just to know that, okay, I finally accomplished what I was working hard for. I got the event space, so that's good for me. The event space is actually named, it's my son's birthday. 324 is my son's birthday. So I'm a mom now. So it's like prioritizing what makes sense and what don't make sense. Like before, it was just like, okay, call me anytime, I'm available, I'm hanging out, I'm doing this. Now I'm prioritizing and it's like, okay, I gotta go to work, girl. I got this venue. I gotta go handle this. I gotta plan this event. So it's definitely changed from then, but all like changed for the better. So now I'm not so available, but I'm available for my business. I'm available in building my career and making this a priority so that it could just flourish, and maybe one day I'll have a bigger space or a second space, third space. You know what I'm saying? So that's good.
That's real. I think that's really, really dope what you just said, because like you said, your priorities have changed now. You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh yeah, I gotta go to work in the morning. It's like, I have to go to my venue. I have to meet with my client.
It's a different feeling when I'm in here. And even so, when I drive past here with my son, he's like, oh, that's my mommy's job. He's only 4, so he don't really know 100% what's going on. But when he comes here, he knows that's his mommy job, and he knows 324 is his birthday. So that feels like amazing. Even the love and support I got on grand opening day was just like surreal. It was like, wow, I really did it. That feels good.
Crazy. So my final question, with that being said, would be, there is literally a LaToya out there watching this video right now, or just seeing you, just driving past Fulton, seeing your venue, and she's scared. She doesn't know how to take the leap. Maybe she's even considering event space elites. Who knows? What would you tell her to just get her over the hump?
I would say anybody who is specifically thinking about event space elites in general, like, do it. It's worth it. Of course, everybody don't have funds or whatever in the beginning, but it's really worth it. This is something that, not that you can't do it yourself, because you can do anything yourself, but it takes a lot of time. And with the program, it's like, it saves you a lot of mistakes. You don't have to worry about going the wrong direction, because they're pointing you in the right direction. They're telling you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and it's so much different steps. So if, anybody want to start a business in general, this business, I would say, just like I told myself, like, you have to stop saying it and do it. Get out there and do it, because it's worth it. In the future, once everything is said and done and you accomplish it, the feeling is amazing. Not only the feeling, the outcome of it, because now you have your own business, you did what you needed to do, and your income is just going up.
That's so real.
And that's the goal at the end.
Honestly, I will say this first and foremost, I'm honestly inspired, because you're not only doing this as somebody who also has a job, you're doing this as a mom, you're doing this as a daughter, right? And you're making it, I don't want to say look easy, but you're making it look possible. And I feel like a lot of people just don't feel like that it's possible, but you are a living testimony that it is.
Yeah, the other day, maybe that was like 2 weeks ago, the cable guy came in here to do the Wi-Fi. And when he came in here, he was in the closet fixing the Wi-Fi. And when he stepped out, he was just like, what is this? And then I explained to him what it was. And he was just like, oh, how did you do this? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, how did I do it? And he was like, you're young. Then I was like, okay. And he was just like, I don't really see much Black people doing a thing. And he was like, I don't even know you, but I'm proud of you. And then we started talking, and I was telling him a lot about the program, and just even in general, like me sitting down speaking to somebody, like a friend who don't know anything about this business, or a coworker that works at my job, and I'm telling them steps that I took to get the venue. It's like, oh wow, you seem like you know a lot. You You know what I'm saying? So just like me speaking to a broker for the first time, I speak to a broker and he's like, oh, you had an event space before. And honestly, I never had an event space before, but because I know the gems and the jewels and what and how things are working just from the program, it's like I didn't have an event space before, but yeah, I have the knowledge and I know what's going on.
May as well have one.
Yes, and I know. So it's like you can't get over on me, or you can't, get me to sign something that is gonna jam me up, because here it is, I have all this, so I was able to speak to him and talk to him, but him just saying it, and he's not the first person. Me sitting on Fulton Street, even with bringing my bar inside, it was random people that was coming in. They was like, oh, what are you making this? And I'm just like, and some people was like, oh, if you need an employee, and I'm like, look at me, I'm getting job. People want to work for me. Look at me. Look at little old.
You a big deal.
Toya, yeah. So it feels really good. It really do.
You a big deal.
Yes, I love it.
Okay. Look, I'm scared of you. Yo, with that being said, man, we just had an amazing conversation with the one and only Toya, Big Toya. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on her name, please. You know what I'm saying? She's out here doing her thing on Fulton Street. Y'all gonna see what happens next for her. Let's go.